Good morning guys. So today I will discuss about the anatomy of the pharynx. Here I will discuss about the soft palate and the tongue. So soft palate is a movable muscular fold which is suspended posteriorly from the hard palate. So this is the hard palate, this is the soft palate. So it is a muscular fold which is movable and suspended from the posterior border of the hard palate. So it separates actually the oropharynx from the nasopharynx. So the oropharynx and the nasopharynx are separated. So this is the nasopharynx. Nasopharynx and oropharynx are separated by the soft palate. The soft palate has two surfaces, the anterior surface, the posterior surface, and the two borders, the superior border and the inferior border. So it has two surfaces, two borders. Anterior surface has a raphe, median raphe. Okay, it is the oral surface, and the posterior surface is the convex, and it is continuous with the floor of the nasal cavity. Superior border is attached to the posterior border of the hard palate. Superior border is attached to the posterior border of the hard palate, and in the inferior border there is a uvula. So this is the uvula. Inferior border there is a uvula, which is a conical projection hanging from the middle. It is a uvula. Okay, it is a free border. Okay, inferior border is the free border. So this is all about the soft palate. Now the posterior fold is called as the palatopharyngeal arch. So it has two arches. The soft palate has two arches, palatopharyngeal arch and palatoglossal arch. So in between the palatoglossal and palatopharyngeal arch there is lie the tonsillar fossa, where the tonsil is present on the lateral wall of the pharynx, that is the oropharynx. So in between the palatopharyngeal and the palatoglossal arch there is a tonsillar fossa on each side. So this is all about the the palatopharyngeal arch is formed by palatopharyngeus muscle of the pharynx, and the palatoglossal arch is formed by palatoglossal muscles of the pharynx. I have already told the muscles of the pharynx. So this palatoglossus and palatopharyngeus. So this is palatopharyngeus arch. So the palatopharyngeus is the inner longitudinal muscles of the pharynx, and there is also a palatoglossal arch. Okay, so this is all about the pharynx. This is all about the soft palate. Now the soft palate is a mucosal fold of the mucous membrane. So it has a palatine aponeurosis, where the soft palate the is actually it is tensed and it is elevated. Okay, so it is tensed by tensor veli palatini. So tensor veli palatini is surrounded by palatine aponeurosis, and it splits along the uvula. So it splits along the uvula near the median plane. It splits around the uvula, and it tenses the palate. Levator veli palatini and the palatopharyngeus is the superior surface of the palatine aponeurosis. So it is present superior surface of the palatine aponeurosis, and it elevates the palate. And the palatoglossus is present in the inferior surface of the palatine aponeurosis. So it depresses the palate. So these muscles are present in the soft palate, and they helps together in the deglutition process. Okay, so what are the muscles present? I have already told. There is a tensor veli palatini, there is a levator veli palatini, and there is a musculus evuli, the palatoglossus, the palatopharyngeus muscle. So what are the nerve supply? All the motor nerve supply of the soft palate except the tensor veli palatini are supplied by the pharyngeal branch or the pharyngeal plexus. Okay, the pharyngeal plexus of the vagus nerve. Only the tensor veli palatini is supplied by mandibular nerve. It is only supplied by the mandibular nerve. Rest muscles are supplied by the vagus nerve. The pharyngeal plexus of the vagus nerve. Okay. And the general the sensory supply, because it contains some mucous gland also, so the sensory supplies are supplied by the lesser palatine, middle and posterior lesser palatine nerve of the, which is the branch of the maxillary nerve. So lesser palatine nerve, maxillary division. Okay, it is supplied by the sensory supply to the palate. Also, there is a glossopharyngeal nerve which also gives the sensory supply to the palate. Okay, and the gustatory nerve supply of the taste sensation are also from the lesser palatine nerve. Okay, lesser palatine nerve, and the secretomotor nerve supply, that is from the mucous gland. It is supplied by the lesser palatine nerve. So, lesser palatine nerve gives the secretomotor and the sensory nerve supply to the palate. Okay, it is arising from the superior salivatory nucleus, travel through the greater petrosal nerve and supply to the palate. So this is all about the palate, the soft palate. Okay. Now what is the Passavan ridge? The Passavan ridge is the some upper fibers of the palatopharyngeus passes circularly deep to the mucous membrane of the pharynx, that is travel to the inferior constrictor as a superior constrictor, sorry. So I have already told this. So some some upper fibers, some upper fibers of palatopharyngeus, pass deep to mucous membrane of pharynx. So there is a mucous membrane of pharynx. So some upper fibers of the palatopharyngeus pass deep to the mucous membrane of the pharynx to form a sphincter. To form a sphincter, that is a valve-like structure interior to superior constrictor. So this is known as, these fibers are known as the Passavant ridge. So importance of Passavant ridge I have already told here. Importance of Passavant ridge. So velopharyngeal insufficiency is one of the clinical importance of the Passavant ridge. The thing which I have not told is the Killian's dehiscence. So Killian's dehiscence, now the palate is actually supplied by greater palatine branch, that is greater palatine branch of maxillary artery. This is a palate blood supply. Okay, greater palatine branch of maxillary artery, ascending palatine branch of the facial artery, ascending palatine branch of facial artery, and the palatine branch of the ascending pharyngeal artery, palatine branch of ascending pharyngeal artery. So this is all about the blood supply of the arterial supply of the palate, and the venous supply is the tonsillar venous plexus, pterygoid venous plexus. Okay, now I will talk about the Killian's dehiscence. So Killian's dehiscence is when the posterior wall of the pharynx, so there was the structure that is the posterior wall of the pharynx. So when the posterior wall of the pharynx, okay, in the lower part of the thyropharyngeus, so there is two muscles. Okay, there was two muscles, the thyropharyngeus and the cricopharyngeus, part of the inferior constrictor. So when the posterior wall of the pharynx, the lower part of the thyropharyngeus is a single seat-like muscle, not overlapped internally by the superior and the middle constrictor. So thyropharyngeus is not overlaid by the superior and the middle constrictor. Okay, superior and middle constrictor not overlaps the thyropharyngeus muscle. So there is a weak part. There is a weak part. So there is a weak part below vocal cord. So there is a weak part below vocal cord. Okay. At the upper border of the cricoid lamina, inferiorly limited by the cricopharyngeal sphincter. So inferiorly limited by cricopharyngeal sphincter. So inferiorly there is a cricopharyngeal sphincter in the and that is anteriorly. So anteriorly there is a cricopharyngeal sphincter, but inferiorly it constrict. Okay, inferiorly it constrict, but cricopharyngeal sphincter actually present anteriorly. We are seeing this from the posterior side. So the posterior wall of the pharynx. So there is a weakness. It is known as the Killian's dehiscence. Killian's dehiscence. So this weakness is known as Killian's dehiscence. This is known as Killian's dehiscence. So pharyngeal diverticula can be found in the Killian's dehiscence. Okay. If there is a neuromuscular incoordination, so the food will get accumulated in this pouch, forming the pharyngeal diverticulum. A Zenker's diverticulum is formed. Zenker's diverticulum is formed. That is a pharyngeal pouch. From here there is a pharyngeal pouch. So this is all about the pharynx.